We are live.
Well, happy Father's Day, everyone. And happy yesterday, first federal holiday, Juneteenth. We're here at Open Mic America, come rain or come shine. And today, shine. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, these songwriters will sing for you and me. We live in a nation based on music, and the songs and the stories are underneath it all. And each one of our singer-songwriters is part of the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of the story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. And we are so happy to share all of that with you who are watching out there tonight and with each other as well. In the before times, if we wanted to see a show like this, we'd have to hope that we were on the schedule of our local open mic or travel to visit those shows around the country. And that's a wonderful adventure, and we still might want to do that. But tonight, we're using the wonders of technology to connect with all the performers and enjoy their music right in our own living rooms. And these are performers who are the best of the best from all over the country at the same time in the same place. And we want everybody out there in YouTube land to know that we are all enjoying spending time with each other and sharing music with each other here, all the singer-songwriters. In addition to each performer singing one or two songs, we're going to get some time with them so we can get to know them. And we hope you enjoy that as much as we do. The lineup is on the website if you go to openmicamerica.com. And it is also underneath the description of the YouTube video if you're watching online on your computer. I think on the television, you can't necessarily see that. We're going to be here a couple hours, give or take tonight, just depending on how long the songs are and how much our performers have to say. I'm going to be your MC tonight. TK, who is, I don't know where he is on your screen, but TK Tran, raise your hand. He is our sound consultant, our engineer, switchboard operator, and he's also going to perform for us today. And for our interviewer, the person who's going to help us get to know these performers besides just listening to their music, we have our founding father, being that it's Father's Day, I decided to say that, our founding father, Capo Dave Williams. Pete Summer is out for Father's Day, and Capo Dave Williams is going to be the interviewer. And now let me introduce all the performers in lineup order. I don't know what order you're looking at on the screen, but this is who we're going to have. Mark Bishop Evans from Andover, Massachusetts. Wave your hand, Mark. Elsie Eastman from Boston, Massachusetts. Nick Carter from Riverside, Connecticut. TK Tran from San Jose, California. Andee Joyce from Portland, Oregon. Neil Dale from Bedford, Massachusetts. Beth Hamon from Portland, Oregon. Rob Cork from Beaverton, Oregon. Rosemarie Austin from San Jose, California. And Cap Wilhelm-Safian. Oh gosh, did I say that right, Cap? I hope I did. Yay, from San Jose, California. Thank you all for being here, and let's let the show begin. So we're going to start with Mark Bishop Evans from Andover. But before you start playing, Mark, can you tell us what open mic you go to?
Well, normally I go to an open mic at North Reading Community Coffee House in North Reading, Massachusetts, and also the Hearing Room in out of Lowell, Massachusetts, and there's a number of others around here, but primarily those are the two and I was going to those before the pandemic, and they went online, and so we've just been keeping it up since then. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Okay, now we'll take the show away.
Here's a song called that I wrote. It's called "The Seeds of Today." flowers of all the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. And all of the schemers have moments they borrow without much intent to repay. All of the highways and all the directions are open to all who would go. And all of the travelers have different perceptions, still they must walk the same road. Now all of the greedy who mortgage the future pretend to be deaf to the sound. Regular people, the peasants and paupers, forced to give ever more ground. And all of these moments define our existence and fade in the blink of an eye. As pillars of power compose a resistance to anything money can't buy. We are all reflections of the colors chosen yesterday. We will choose the colors of the future, how much they weigh. Everyone a child of the past, a parent to a future forecast. For all the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. All of the rivers are clogged with the refuge of all our disposable lives, while all of the towers continue disputes, corrupting the earth and the skies. And all of the oceans are gradually rising to someday consume all the land. If we can't accomplish the task of deciding, perhaps we deserve to be damned. We are all reflections of the colors chosen yesterday. We will choose the colors of the future, how much they weigh. And everyone a child of the past, a parent to a future forecast. For all the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. I said all of the soldiers with all of their medals lie buried or waiting to die, while all of the kitchens with all of their kettles hide widows too lonely to cry. And all of the children inherit our sorrows and then must survive what we've made. For all of the flowers of all the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. We are all reflections of the colors chosen yesterday. And we will choose the colors of the future and how much they weigh. That everyone's a child of the past, a parent to a future forecast. All the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. Now we are all a child of the past, a parent to the future forecast. For all the tomorrows are held in the seeds of today. The seeds of today. The seeds of today.
Great words, Mark. They really, that's worth listening to. You know, the words. Really good.
Thank you, man.
What a hook. What
It
a
is about the
concept.
words, isn't it? I mean, as a songwriter, I mean, It's about the words, right?
Yeah, the music was good too.
That helps, you know. Music is the vehicle. The words are the message. This is a song called What Counts. This was a song I was just reflecting on life, my life. And this is the song that came out of it. It's called What Counts. Oh, there are things that I've done that other men only have dreamed. And then there are games that I've won when others could not make the team. I know that there's roads that I've passed where others would surely get lost. Sometimes I've traveled so fast that no one could measure the cost. So it don't really count what you've got as much as it counts who you are. Though beauty can help you a lot, we learn so much more from our scars. I know I've had loves in my life that kindled the envy of men. I've soared upon wings to the heights and learned how to feign and pretend. In all this I truly have found that value and praise aren't the same. When riches and treasures abound, we tend to lose more than we gain. So it don't really count what you've got as much as it counts who you are. Though beauty can help you a lot, we learn so much more from our scars. Now the fire of a ruby so fine grows dim with the passing of light, and the glow of the stars in the sky can't happen until it is night. So it don't really count what you got as much as it counts who you are. Though beauty can help you a lot, we learn so much more from our scars. No, it don't really count what you've got as much as it counts who you are. And though beauty can help you a lot, we learn so much more from our scars.
Oh man, that was great. That was a beautiful song.
Beautiful, beautiful lyrics.
Oh,
Two
such a
fine
message.
songs. Wow. Those were fine songs, Mark. Fine.
Thank you.
And a great sounding guitar too. That thing sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, A 12-string can help you a lot.
Yeah, it can. Thank you, Nick.
That Taylor didn't hurt you either, I'll tell you that. Well, Mark, obviously you've been playing for a long time. I'd like to ask you about your early times playing. Like, what was it that inspired you to start playing the guitar and singing? How old were you? And who were some of your early influences?
Yeah, I started playing the trumpet when I was 5 years old, and I played classical trumpet for 9 years till I was 14. By the time I hit 14, I had realized that I really wanted to sing, and it was really difficult to sing and play the trumpet at the same time. And those are back in the days when there was no such thing as a keyboard, and so you know carrying around a piano didn't seem to be a practical idea. So I grabbed a guitar at 14. I had actually gotten into some serious trouble and got grounded. I got stuck in my room for 6 months, and I learned to play the guitar in that 6 months, you know, and my main influences were probably Gordon Lightfoot was probably my main influence early on, and folk music, you know, Peter, Paul and Mary, you know, Joan Baez, you know, that stuff was all the thing, and I really got inspired in the late 60s to start writing my own music because of all the protest music that was going on, all the socially relevant material that was being put out there, and it seemed to strike me in my heart, and I wanted to express my own feelings about that. So that's how it all started, you know.
I hear the social conscience in your first song, and it has seemed to me like over the years a lot of that has kind of vanished and washed away when folk music kind of turned commercial. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, you know, I mean, obviously, nobody wants to hear that on their AM radio back in those days, and it's FM radio now. But nobody wanted to hear that. You know, it's too uncomfortable to be made to have that in your face all the time. To be thought about. That's why there's songwriters like us. That's why our community exists, so that we can you know, throw it in people's faces all that we want. Nobody's going to get too upset about that. So.
One last question. 2 songs, if you had to pick the greatest songs you've ever heard played.
God.
2.
I would have to say
That jumped right out of
I got one. I really do. I really got one. Gentle on My Mind, Glenn Campbell, Gentle on My Mind. Lyrically, that song is it doesn't get any better than that. And an American Song by Paul Simon.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mark. Great job.
Bravo, Mark. Thank you. That was such a beautiful way, thoughtful way to open our evening today.
Thank you.
And next, all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, we have Elsie Eastman, who, Elsie, you can give a shout out to your open mic as well, if you have one.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Elsie. I don't play open mics a whole lot, but the 2 that I've played in Boston and really enjoyed were the most recent I did was Club Passim, which they are doing virtual ones. I think it's on Tuesdays. And I think that's how I heard about this from Capo Dave. And then one at the Burren, which is in Somerville, I want to say. And I had a great time there, and every musician, there was like multiple barbershop quartets. It was fantastic. Highly recommend.
It's in Somerville.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. So those are the 2 that I've enjoyed and played in Boston. But yeah, so hi, my name is Elsie Eastman. I'm a singer-songwriter in Boston, And I am going to play you 2 songs today from my upcoming album. This past summer, I crowdfunded $10,290 to do a studio album for the first time, and it's extremely exciting. And actually, one of these songs, I just laid down the vocals the day before yesterday, and I was listening to it today on my way to work, so really exciting stuff. If you like what you hear and you want to support, join the Patreon. It's on my website, elsieeastmanmusic.com. And I'm going to play you 2 songs that are going to be on that album. The first one is called Fall in Love with Strangers. Some people have to kiss a bunch of frogs to find a prince. Some people can't imagine love without some proof. But I don't need to go on dates to picture me in love. I just fall in love with strangers. I look across the platform waiting for my train to work. I spot a handsome fella standing over there. A glimpse of him is all I need to start to name our kids. And the dog he doesn't know we're gonna have. I fall in love with strangers of mine, they never call. We might exchange a smile or perhaps a look is all. But in my mind I see us happy till we're gray and old. Relationships are silver, but a moment with a stranger is gold. The waitress comes to pour my drink, already I'm on fire. We're waking up beside each other in our bed. The wedding photo hangs above, I look at it each night, remembering the vows we would have said. I fall in love with strangers, it's fine, they never call. We might exchange a smile or perhaps a look is all. But in my mind I see us happy till we're gray and old. Relationships are silver, but a moment with a stranger is gold. The boy at the deli, the girl on the train, the bartender who winked at me, the girl who felt my pain. In just one single moment, my heart splits into 2. May I offer up a piece of it to you? Sometimes we start a conversation, maybe share a joke, but we always then part ways and let it be. There's no commitment and no risk, just possibility. And we leave a little lighter for the happy company. I fall in love with strangers, they never have to call. We might exchange a smile or perhaps a look is all. But in my mind I see us happy till we're gray and old. Relationships are silver, but a moment with a stranger is gold. It's gold, it's gold. Relationships are silver, but a moment with a stranger is gold.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
That's great.
Charming.
Made me very happy.
Wunderbar.
I think we've all missed those moments with strangers, haven't we?
Completely. I've just been noticing it now as things are opening up. I'm like, I always try to compliment people if I think that they have a great outfit or great hair. I'm like, everyone wants to hear that. There's no one who's like, oh, don't compliment me. And so,
I actually do know people who.
well, yes, okay, there are some people, but I just those moments where you like connect with someone. I've been having a few lately, and I realized how much I missed it from before. But I saw some comments. Oh, thanks, guys. So this is another very lighthearted one. This is the one I recorded 2 days ago. It's a kind of an anthem of adulthood, young adulthood particularly, and like the struggles of living your own life. So like I said, if you want to support, join the Patreon. It's on my website, elsieeastmanmusic.com, or Instagram, elsie.eastman. So this one's called The Song of Adulthood. Very, very creative title. Thank you. I'll accept my award now, please. I own 7 shades of lipstick, but I'm still afraid of kisses. My computer caught on fire from trying way too hard. I own 47 notebooks, each one filled with lots of nonsense. I still have a couple blank ones somewhere on my floor, and I might have a couple bills to pay, but I got a car that works, and I might have broke my ankle skateboarding, but today it doesn't hurt. I have at least 4 mermaid paintings, they all hang a little crooked. My smoke alarm is dying, but I ignored it all day. The rent is due tomorrow, I forgot to mail my check, but who's to say that the mailman didn't lose it? And I might be a little late to work, but I'm insured. And I might forget to get my gas, but I have an easy pass. I might fake sick, I might sleep in, I might text you late into the night. I might not impress, I might skip the gym, but personally I think it's alright. I might ignore my friends, I might drink wine alone, I might leave my laundry way too late. I might forget to call or eat chocolate every meal, but yeah, Mom, doing fine today. I left the toaster unplugged and my waffles were still frozen, but yesterday I burned my toast. I only can cook rice and omelets, so dinner's almost always breakfast, but maybe I just like omelets the most. Might have spent the night in someone else's bed, but at least his hair was red. And I might walk ashamed straight into church with hickeys under my sweatshirt, but it's just as well. At least my lipstick will match the flames of hell. So yeah, Mom, I'm doing really well.
Yeah. All right.
Mark.
Oh, Elsie.
Great line with the lipstick.
That is one honest song, but that can speak to so many people.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Can I show you something I gotten in the mail by an anonymous person?
Sure.
Okay, mind you, I'm a lot older than you are.
Exactly.
I have no idea who sent me this book about how to be an adult. Maybe I should send it to you, although you seem to be getting the hang of it really
take
well.
It. Any help I can get.
I don't know. I'm way too old for this, but you know, I heard your song and I'm going, that's it. That's it.
Exactly.
Also, those were terrific songs. Wow, upbeat, up tempo. I fall in love with strangers. Great line. And you know, your songs, they sound like old-time folk songs. Very positive, and your voice is sweet. You've got great dynamics, and you just slip right into a kind of a colloquial voice. I love the way you're doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Talk to us a little bit about your process writing a song. These are some pretty good songs you're writing here, I have to say. Tell us about it, how you do it.
Thanks. Well, honestly, a lot of my songs lately I've kind of written on the go. Maybe not the whole thing, but if I get an idea, I usually do my best thinking on my walk to work, because I take the T and then I walk. And so if a phrase pops into my head, like it might have I can't quite remember, but it might have been like fall in love with strangers. Like, ooh, that's a good concept because I do that all the time. I literally have joked that it's a curse that like I literally fall in love with every person that I meet. So that happens quite a lot. And then maybe I'll write a few lines on my phone and then maybe I'll come home and finish it or something like that. Usually they get finished pretty quickly where it's like you're in the mindset and it's, I don't know, as you said, like they're really honest songs, or maybe it was Daphne, but yeah, I have a musical theater background, so a lot of my songs are very like storytelling, so I try to just kind of call it like I see it, and if it's, you know, some ridiculous thing like this song about all my adult failures, that's just how it happens. And then I guess, you know, little bits of turn of phrase and rhyme is just skills you build along the way.
So you've got the lyrics and then the music, the melody comes afterwards, would you say?
Yeah, usually that's how it is. Sometimes I get the, with guitar, that's generally how it is. Sometimes with piano, I'm a lot more fluid writing on the piano. So if I just have some time and I feel like playing, sometimes the tune will come out first. But with guitar, it's not my first instrument, and so usually it's like I've written an entire song and then I'm like, okay, what am I gonna make this sound like? Or I'll make a voice memo and then I'm like, okay, I need to find chords to match this.
Do you find that sometimes a song kind of gets away on you and goes in its own direction? Do you ever find that happen?
It has happened, although I will say, you know, I definitely, I'm not saying I don't have skill on the guitar, but there are far more skilled guitarists than I, and so sometimes I'm reined in only by the fact that maybe I don't know every chord. So it's like, okay, how do we make this something I can play feasibly at a gig?
Well, you're very young and you've got plenty of time to learn that stuff, but you sure have the heart of it. Now I have to ask you, two singers, songwriters that you really respect that have meant a lot to you, their work. I probably won't know them because at my age, you know, but tell us.
I would say the number one person that really has inspired me is Amanda Palmer. I don't know if you guys know her or not. She's very kind of weird and like has a very, very dedicated kind of weird, funky following. Her first band was the Dresden Dolls, where they were, what do they call it, like a punk cabaret duo where they dress in like white, like basically mime makeup. Super weird, but that's not what she does now. But she's really inspired me a lot to kind of be honest, and her entire background is busking. She, for 10 years in Boston, she was a living statue, and that was her job. And she was self-employed on the street, and so the crowdfund that I did last year that I mentioned was very inspired by, you know, people who have successfully done that in the past, and she has. And I would say another person that, well, not a current person who's like maybe on my iTunes every day or on my Spotify every day, but I really grew up with Indigo Girls playing in the house. I'm sure you guys, that is a familiar name for you guys, but that's the majority of how I learned harmony and how to, you know, harmonize with songs and find the unexpected harmony. And obviously you didn't get to hear that tonight, but hopefully on the album I have a little bit, and they definitely built up my skills that way, and I'll always have a place in my heart for the Indigo Girls for sure.
Wonderful. Thanks for your music. And folks, check our website out. All these performers have links to their websites, and you can find a path to Elsie's music and her CD. And Elsie, best of luck with that. And thanks for being on the show.
My absolute pleasure. I can't wait to hear everyone else.
Yay, exactly what I was going to say, Dave. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we want everybody to be able to be heard outside of Open Mic America also. And there are so many wonderful people to discover. Thank you, Elsie, one more time. And now we are going to go all the way over to Riverside, Connecticut to hear Nick Carter, who also hopefully will give a shout out to his open mic.
Absolutely. Great to be with you guys again, Daphne and Dave. Thanks for having us all back again. Yeah, there's a great open mic every Thursday. I think it's opening up fairly soon. It hasn't opened up yet. It's in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's Ed Train's acoustic open mic, and it's at a place called Bobby Q's. So that's a great place. And then there's another one opening up quite soon. It's just off Exit 9 in Stamford, Connecticut, Exit 9 off I-95. Frank Tosto's done a wonderful job with something called Stamford Musicians Group in Stamford, Connecticut. And he's now hosting one. It's a nice little location. It's just off Exit 9, Stamford Musicians Group. And that's on Wednesdays. So they're both welcoming people and welcoming venues. So we have a song here from, I guess we'd say from an unexpected point of view. Please don't hate me for the words she made me write. She's been talking to herself all night. Her trembling hands steady now, thoughts coming clear. She's leaving you one last souvenir. I am her only fountain pen, the birthday gift you gave her back then. I can't count the times she picked me up and put me down, but she's riding rain tonight, the way the ink is pouring out. Her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. No way out between the lines. I can't stop her from saying it's the end. I am just a fountain pen, like a jet black arrow flying from her hand. I signed your names the day you traded wedding bands, and Italian summer postcards, late night letters back in school, notes of devotion by two crazy loving fools. But tonight she's asking how it all went wrong, laying lines from what you should have done. Question marks and margins hanging heavy, so cold. An exclamation point closing in to take its toll. Her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like she can't take it anymore. The ink from my lips draws you a goodbye kiss, and she packs me in her suitcase and pins a letter to the door. Whoa, whoa, oh. Her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. No way out between the lines. I can't stop her from writing it's the end. I am just a fountain pen. I can't stop before it's over the end. I am just a fountain pen.
Oh my, wow.
Gorgeous.
That cut deep.
Beautiful song.
Thank you. So here we go. This song I want to dedicate to a friend. I'll say it real fast. A good friend named Richard Keith, wonderful songwriter. I definitely want, Dave, I want you to meet him if he wants to do this. He's really talented, great songwriter. He had an accident recently, and Yari, his Alvarez of 30 years, was crushed in an accident, and the guitar is gone. And I've seen that guitar. I've seen him play it. It's a fabulous sounding instrument. It's a warrior that's been with him for 30 years. So, Richard, this is dedicated to you tonight. This song is called My Guitar Will Be My Compass. Winter 78, I finally quit the band for a job in Maine with my family. Tried to deny the trouble coming down as my guitar became a stranger to me. Fresh out of school, steady paycheck in hand, glad to have a pocket full of cash. Had an office in the field, helping farmers work the land. Had 3 good years before the crash. Then the markets broke the farms, and banks came calling for the keys. I closed up shop and I watched those bridges burn. My hometown wasn't home to me. The wrong roads don't always lead you home, and the right road won't always lead you home. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my home. And my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Went to work on Wall Street, but found no peace of mind. Started playing downtown bars. Finally broke away and left the suits behind. Started trading stocks for tips in a jar. The right roads don't always lead you home, but the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. On a corner now you'll find me in Soho, playing like I'm paying off a debt. My guitar case catching quarters for a solo, but it's better than a promise never kept. Oh, so much better than a promise never kept. Right roads don't always lead you home, but the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. The right roads don't always lead you home, but the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh, my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh, now, come on now, won't you find my road? Oh, come on now, help me find my home. And be my compass when I go.
God.
Wow.
Very
Love the finger
You are a
picking.
fabulous lyricist. Oh,
That is
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
A
Nick,
convention
wonderful.
guitar player. Wow.
It helps.
Well, thank you. I'm in good company. There's a lot of great musicians already at work tonight, so thank you.
Nick, something tells me that if I go to an open mic in your town and I'm sitting there watching people coming and going, when Nick Carter gets up on the stage, they get real quiet. And
Sometimes.
I'd like to take you back to when you started playing in front of people. It probably wasn't like that, like it was for everybody else. But would you like to talk about some of your early experiences and how that felt, and a little bit about what it took to get you from there to where you are, which is obviously very compelling songwriter, singer, storyteller. I like the jet black arrow flying from her hand.
Well, thank you. Thank
Talk
you.
about that.
It's funny. There's actually a moment in time. In springtime 1972, that'll date me. I was in high school and I was part of an ecumenical singing group. We were performing for this very large event. And we got up on the stage to perform. It was a youth convention. And it happened to be in Portland, Maine. And I got up on the stage and we played our music. And I looked out across the crowd and I remember closing the songbook. We all had our songbooks, right? And I closed it and I put it down and just sang. And that's honest to God's truth. Just being prepared, I guess, but it was like something in the ether taking hold of me. And at that point, music kind of announced itself and kind of said, I'm going to sit here on your shoulder for the rest of your life, and you can ignore me at your peril, or you can, figure out how to make me work in your life. And for a while, I went to conventional. Guitar's My Compass is a tad autobiographical. I did do some more mainstream things, and music never left. And I grew up playing drums. Before I was in high school, older brother had a drum set, and I played it a lot. And so that's kind of how the music came in, Dave, and it has never sort of let me alone, and I'm grateful for that. So I hope that's a helpful answer. At least it's right from here.
How about early influences, singers, songwriters, players, bands that really grabbed you and made you want to press forward?
Harry Chapin.
Very much.
I heard Taxi. First time I heard Taxi, I thought, wow, this is something else. And it was about that same spring of 72. So Harry Chapin is a big one. Joni Mitchell, and Coming from the Cold, which I think it's on the album Blue, but so many of the songs from that album are amazing. Lucy Kaplansky. But early influences, one other moment, I remember at a very young age hearing the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand, in the bridge in that song. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. There's a low range thumping in the rhythm guitar that played, and 4th or 5th grade, I could not have articulated to you how it made me feel, but it did make me feel different. And I remember hearing that and thinking, oh, something's happening here that I've never heard before. And it was a very, very powerful moment. I can still hear that dum, dum, dum. When I touch you, I feel happy inside. So early Lennon, McCartney, sure, Dylan. But current stuff, Laurie McKenna, songwriter, a fabulous songwriter. Steve Earle, John Prine, Ellis Paul, a friend of mine who's a fabulous singer-songwriter, has been very supportive. The songs you just heard are going to be on a new album in the months ahead. And lots of friends like Ellis have been real encouraging of my pursuits of this stuff.
You have your link on our website, I hope.
I do, nickcartermusic.com. That album isn't available yet, but an earlier album was released a few years ago. That is available on it. These songs will be eventually, not right now, but they will be soon.
Okay, before I let you off the hook, one song, greatest song in your mind of all times that you've ever heard. One.
My good gracious. All right, let me think. We don't have all night, I know.
Just let it pop.
Yeah, greatest song. I'll tell you what I have really listened. I go back to a lot, and Well, you know what? You think of it, bridge over troubled water, and you go after the bridge, and I think what it is, it's about the mix. It's the engineering. The lyrics are fabulous, but it's also, for me, was always about sound. Always about sound. So, bridge over troubled water.
All right. Thanks so much for coming back, and we're going to have you back again and again. Thanks so much.
Pleasure
Dave.
to return. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
There, I unmuted Cap instead of myself. It was just, sorry about that. Nick, that was just amazing. Thank you so much for that. And I love hearing everything that you had to tell us about your beginning with music and some thoughts. That's really important. We are now going to hear from Andee Joyce from Portland, Oregon. And Andee, if you go to an open mic, tell us just before you play a little bit about that. Give the name of it and where it is.
Hello, everybody.
Oh dear, you know, Andee, I made a mistake.
I thought I wasn't next.
You are right. You know,
before me.
Hello in YouTube land, everybody. I ordered my Zoom window. You don't see it this way in order of performer, but because TK Tran is also our engineer,
Right.
I put him in the left corner on top
was
just
like,
so I
wait,
could
what?
always see him.
Yeah,
And
I
it
thought
turns
it was
out
you.
that it's his turn next.
Yes, I thought so.
Sorry, Andee. I'm sorry. Okay, we're all waiting for you after TK Tran. TK, it is your turn. We'd love to hear from you and tell us about your open mics.
All right, thanks, Daphne.
Are you going to spotlight yourself, TK? Because if I do it, you won't see it on YouTube is the problem.
Sure, let me do that.
Yeah. TK
I've
has
never
to do that.
spotlit myself before, so this is kind of weird.
I
Now I'm
know,
looking at
that's
myself.
weird.
All right, my favorite open mic to attend in person is Hub's Coffee in San Jose. That community was where I got my music started again, so it's always going to have a special place in my heart. And I'm looking forward to them opening back up, so that's in the future. But for today, these two songs I'm going to play for you guys are two recent things I've written. This first one is about our natural instinct as humans to compare ourselves, our lives, and our accomplishments to other people's lives and accomplishments, and that's always counterproductive. So this song is called "The Grass is Greener." Well, he's got a bigger house than you, a fancy car, all brand new. He makes the big bucks while you get by. And he's dressed up in well-fit suits, clean-cut hair and shiny shoes. You're blue collar and he's a shirt and tie. Well, you know what they always say, someone else has got it better and someone's got it worse. Some of us are used to luxury and some of us built from dirt. And if you ask me, I'm gonna bet the grass is greener where you water it. She's found the love of her life with two little babies by her side. You've always wanted the same. And they've been together since high school, best friends and lovers through and through. You're just waiting for your day. Well, you know what they always say, someone else has got it better and someone's got it worse. Some of us are used to happiness and some of us just hurt. And if you ask me, I'm gonna bet the grass is greener where you water it. Look over your fence sometimes if you like, but only to see if your neighbor's doing alright. 'Cause if you ask me, I'm gonna bet the grass is greener where you water it.
Oh man, that's a great song.
Great concept.
Yeah, I love your voice, man. You're awesome.
Ditto on the voice, especially the voice, TK.
Thank you.
That's great. A pleasure to listen to you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I always love hearing your stuff. It's amazing.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, so this next song is one I wrote based on a YouTube channel, actually. There's this guy on YouTube that his dad walked out on him when he was little, so he never had someone to rely on to teach him things like how to do things around the house and stuff like that. So he started a channel called Dad, How Do I? And he made videos of things like how to change a light bulb or how to change a tire on a car. And I took that and wrote this song with my dad in mind, because I still depend on my dad. It's called Dad, How Do I? And it's for all the dads listening. Dad, how do I fix this flat on my bike? I must have rode over a nail, now it don't ride right. Dad, how do I change a tire on the truck? 'Cause I'm nervous and there's a pretty girl I gotta go pick up. Dad, how do I tie your blue paisley tie? There's a job I really want, so I wanna dress up nice. Dad, how do I tell her how I really feel? Because I've never felt anything this real. Oh, I've been watching you all this time to learn the things you do, and I can do them all, but not as well as you. The truth is, I hope I can fill your boots in time, but for now, I'll keep on asking, Dad, how do I? Dad, how do I ask her to be mine forever? Tell me how you asked Mama back in the day. Did you get down on one knee? Did you pray that she'd say yes? Did Mama cry when she saw that ring? And did you cry when you saw that dress? Well, I've been watching you all this time to learn the things you do, and I can do them all, but not as well as you. The truth is, I hope I can fill your boots in time, but for now, I'll keep on asking, Dad, how do I? Dad, how do I keep on going when you're not here? You've grown older and you've grown weaker through these years. Dad, how do I keep on going with you gone? If you were here, you'd say, boy, keep on moving on. Well, I've been watching you all that time to learn the things you do, and I can do them all, but not as well as you. The truth is, I hope I'm filling your boots alright, because I can't ask anymore, Dad. How do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Such emotion, man.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh my God, I'm crying here.
Thanks, everybody.
I removed the spotlight, but you need to change it to your view,
Yep,
right?
I got
yeah,
it.
good. Great.
Peace,
TK is
TK.
doing double time as a performer, as a technician.
TK, you have me choking up here thinking about my own dad, I'll tell you. Boy.
Yeah, at least, I try to make people feel something with the song.
You
so I
just
guess,
did it. You just did it. And I've known you for quite a while. You've been working with us on Open Mic America and done so much for us. And people love your rich baritone, and it just never ceases to amaze me the way you churn out these songs. And they're all good, and I don't know how you do it. I have to ask you, A, how many songs have you written, and of all those you wrote, how many do you feel like that you play out? I mean, it must be some stupendous number at this point.
yeah, I can get you that number right now. 52 is...
That you play out?
No, 52 total. I've
Yeah.
only been writing for maybe 2 years. 52 total. I play out probably half of them on a regular basis.
Wow. Amazing. And talk about when you started. What was it that, made you excited about being a singer, a songwriter, and you obviously just jumped right into you have captured the country genre, and there's plenty of good old boys from Georgia and Alabama just wish they could sing and play like you. Talk about your early, how you came to it.
So if we go early, I actually started out with electric guitar, and I played in punk rock bands. I don't know if you knew that. But then I stopped playing music for a little bit, but then I found people locally who play country music and folk music, and that was a crowd that I felt like I belonged there, because that's always been in the background. Just I never played along with other people or found people who appreciated it. So that group at Hub's Coffee really got me started again about 2 years ago, and I haven't looked back.
Hubs used to be my home group too, and I left. I think I left there before you got there. I moved to Portland. But tell me this: if you were putting together a little band for yourself, what instruments would you have in the band? How would you configure the band to support the music that you're playing?
Yeah, that's a tough one. There's always got to be a pedal steel, of course. Right. A mandolin, maybe a banjo.
Yeah.
Someone on piano, and I think a few electric guitars would be good.
A few?
Yeah. Never have enough.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope you put me on to sell the T-shirts, and I think I might do okay at that. And before I let you off the hook, 2 greatest songs, country, otherwise, and I've heard you sing stuff outside the country genre as well. 2 songs, in your view, are, in your opinion, the best that you would put out there.
He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones.
There you go.
And Boys to Men, End of the Road.
All right. Excellent. Thanks so much, TK, and thanks for all you do on OMA. You save our bacon all the time running stuff. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I second that and echo it, TK. And this is the second time I heard that song. Dad, how do I forget the exact title. Tell me again.
Dad, how do I? You got it.
Oh, I did it. Right. And I loved it the first time, and it was so wonderful to hear it again, especially on Father's Day. So thank you, TK. But you didn't mention cowbell. You always need more cowbell, though, I was thinking. Okay, and now we have Andee Joyce from Portland, Oregon. Andee, give a shout out to your open mic before you play.
Well, Rob Cork and I met at an open mic that in a place called Influence Music Hall in Hillsboro, Oregon. The actual physical location doesn't exist anymore, but the group of people does. We've been doing a Zoom mic every Friday night, and yeah, I've been in attendance at most of the nights. If anybody wants to get on this list, then please please message me, and we can certainly we can certainly get you on their mailing list. So, and he sends out a link. He sends out a separate link every Friday for it. So. So I think I'm going to put this in gallery view, so I don't have like my mug sticking right in my face. Everybody else will see me close up, but I look at myself all the time. So, so today is the birthday of the person who inspired this song, and it's kind of a Father's Day song in a way because it was based on an anecdote in his memoir about watching his children swim, and this moment changed everything for him. And that anecdote reminded me that if you're still living, your story is not written yet. This is called Brian Wilson is Afraid of the Ocean. I used to go to Venice Beach in the winter with a thrifty ice cream cone in my hand. It was hard not to think about the Beach Boys while watching Rocky Road drip onto the sand. Those songs made everyone so happy, except the guy who composed most of them. You'd never have caught him dead on a surfboard unless it went through hell and back again. They told me Brian Wilson is afraid of the ocean. He hates the beach. No, seriously. It's so obvious to everyone who knows him. Plus he said it in his autobiography. Oh, 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 oh. I went to Los Angeles to look for my brain. They say it's always in the last place you search. My brain is always in the last place I search, yeah. All my sound files always wound up in the round files. Didn't know what I was doing on this earth. Yeah. I like that part so much I think I'll do it again. I went to Los Angeles to look for my brain. They say it's always in the last place you search. There it is. All my sound files always wound up in the round files. Didn't know what I was doing on this earth. But I never got sold down the river by my father trying to bleed me dry. Never had a shrink take over my whole life. My shrink taught me to ask myself why it is that Brian Wilson is afraid of the ocean. He hates the beach. No, seriously. It's so obvious to everyone who knows him. Plus he said it in his autobiography. Oh, 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 ooh. When Brian Wilson was about 70, he said he conquered one of his oldest fears. He went with his family to the ocean and swam in it for the first time in over 40 years. I guess if there's a takeaway from this, it's life is set in sand more than set in stone. And if there's one thing I want to do with music, it's to let people know they're not alone. I knew I was was not alone. The day I found out Brian Wilson is afraid of the ocean. He hates the beach. No, seriously. It's so obvious to everyone who knows him. Plus, he said it in his autobiography. Oh, 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 oh,
Oh my!
Very indulgent.
Such imagination, and what a message! My gosh.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's sometimes overwhelming for me to play that thing, and then my hand gets like, okay, let me introduce you to my hand here, my left hand. This is my autistic left hand, because I'm autistic, and so is my left hand. And sometimes my hand has a mind of its own. And my hand thought it knew what the chord changes were, and it's wrong. Just as long as we're clear on that hand. Okay, so I didn't know I was autistic until I was in my 40s. Before that, life was often the wrong kind of interesting. Since then, it's become more of the right kind of interesting. Can't see a thing. Can't see a thing. But I know it's there. I can hear it, feel it, taste it, everywhere. That game was rigged. I knew it all along. I might be crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. Back when I was the size of a fire hydrant, I asked, could I play? And they said, no, you can't. But Lord, I was stubborn, wouldn't accept a no. So they said, if you really want to, then let's go. And they gave me a blindfold, taped bricks to my legs, laid out a 10-mile path of Fabergé eggs. Then they said, now walk backwards, relax and have fun, but we'll have to kill you if you step on one. But my other senses told me, even though I couldn't see, no one else got bricks or blindfolds but me. I can't see a thing, and I know it's there. I can hear it, feel it, taste it everywhere. That game was rigged, I knew it all along. I might be crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. I know my eyes have tricked me so many times, watching myself commit imaginary crimes. I saw love in people's faces when all they felt was hate, and I saw hate when they thought I was great. It was like whenever I was dying of thirst, I'd see a cold drink machine, and I'd get out my purse. Then I'd put in my money, watch it, pull back the coil, and then spit out a bottle of motor oil. And when I told them, they said, with all your senses always cranked up to 13, how could you know what really came out of that cold drink machine? I can't see a thing, but I know it's there. I can hear it, feel it, taste it everywhere. That game was rigged, I knew it all along. I might be crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. I'm gonna toe it to the hands, that's right. Toe it to the hands, yeah, whoa. Whenever my hand hears the word hand, it wants to flap. This is a flapping thing. And usually when my hand starts getting busy like this, if I'm in person in a brick and mortar place, then it wants to clap and let everybody else clap with me. But this is a Zoom thing, so I think what my hand would like to do is move your hands however you want to. Flap, clap, whatever you want. Let's do it. They say people like me have empty souls and no heart. and blank little minds. We can't make art. Finally, someone, believe me, said what they said wasn't true. You can't do it like them, you gotta do it like you. Oh, and that's when I grew to believe that it was real, that I was real, I wasn't faking. Grew to believe in all the gorgeous things I could be making. Grew to believe it, grew to believe it, grew to believe me, grew to believe me, yeah. And now I know exactly what all this is for, 'cause now it doesn't matter anymore, anymore. Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. If I can't see a thing, 'cause I know it's there, I can hear it, feel it, taste it everywhere. That game was rigged, I knew it all along. I might be crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That game was rigged, I knew it all along. I might be crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. No, 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 no. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Great lyrics. Great lyrics.
Yeah.
Great lyrics.
Bravo. Great performance.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Wonderful, Andee. I've seen you many times at Artichoke and, of course, at the Songwriters Soiree. And, folks, Andee lights up the room when she gets up there, and she's got these songs where you always feel like she's letting you in on some little secrets. You know, she just does these stream of consciousness things. But I have to ask you, Andee, what is your process for practice? And, you know, when you sit down and okay, now it's time to work on my music. How do you get your head ready? And, you know, what is your process for moving forward with music? Share that with us, please.
I could write an entire book about that. I will try not to be too wordy about it, but it's a lot of the time where I start was with rhythm, because rhythm and percussion have always been like favorite things of mine, which is why playing, I'll be honest with you, accompanying myself on guitar is not my favorite thing. My fine motor skills are not the greatest, and it takes out a lot of it takes up a lot of mental bandwidth to concentrate on the fretboard. And but I do it because I want to be able to play my music anywhere and have a variety of presentations and do all kinds of different things. But a lot of the time, what I'll do is it'll start with a rhythm. I mean, Brian Wilson's Afraid of the Ocean was different. I actually had that chorus pop into my head after I was reading this young adult book about that was set in the 60s and had some random factoids in there about musicians. And one of them was that, you know, Brian Wilson was scared of the ocean. And I had heard that before, but I was like, that sounds like a song. Brian Wilson is... and so the chorus came to me, bam, like that on the Max. But it took me like 3 months to finish the lyrics, because otherwise the song would have been 18 minutes long. I had many feelings about this, because you know, Brian Wilson is somebody who you know, has been very open about his own you know, neurological issues, and you know, it's like I've always appreciated that, but usually when you know, when I'm writing songs, a lot of the time it comes to me with a rhythm. It's like I want a song with this rhythm, or you know, it's like I do, you know, it's like I do a lot of my stimming involves a lot of clapping and, you know, slapping my feet on the floor, you know, drumming the table, you know, and sometimes things just kind of bubble up from there. And then when I wait until I have like a tune in my head before I go to an instrument, because I don't necessarily want I don't want my hands to necessarily go where they want to. It's like I kind of want my head to direct it. It's like, okay, this is the tune. How do I figure this out?
So do you record it, sort of, you're thinking of it, recording it on a phone or something, or do you write it down? How do you?
I do both things. I have, if it's a lyric idea, I actually have a phone where I can write on the lock screen. It's like there's like a little stylus I can pull out, and I can scribble something down on the lock screen if I get an idea. And I can also do a quick phone recording if I get an idea, and you know, I don't have the time to just run and develop it right away, which usually it happens when I don't have the time to run and develop it right away, because it's like it always happens when you're busy doing something else, right?
How many songs do you think you've written?
Let's see. Well, the thing is, I've been in this incarnation. I perform and record under the name Normal Fauna, and I've been in the Normal Fauna incarnation for about 5 years, and in this incarnation maybe 70, but before that I probably had another, it's like I had another 40 in my older years, and most of them were just junk, because I didn't really know who I was, and it's like now that I know, it's like it's much easier to understand. It's much easier to understand why I feel a certain way, instead of thinking, I feel this way, I shouldn't feel this way, why do I feel this way, what's wrong with me? It's like, well, nothing wrong with me, just something different about me, that's all.
Before I let you go, two great songs. Great songs.
All right, Don't You Worry About a Thing by Stevie Wonder, and Timer by Laura Nyro.
All right. Thanks so much, Andee.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. We'll love to have you back. Thanks.
Bravo, and what a treat. I am so thrilled that we get to hear so many different kinds of voices and songwriting tonight, and always. Just thank you, Andee. And now we are going to go over to Bedford, Massachusetts to hear
Back to Boston.
What? You're from Boston?
Well, it's all Greater Boston,
Okay, Greater Boston, Neil Dale. And Neil, tell us about your open mics.
Well, I'm going to shift into gallery too, because I'm just not used to looking at myself. My open mic is the same as Mark's, but actually I'm glad to be announcing it, because now that it's gone brick and mortar again, I think it's changing. It's now called One Broadway, and it's in Lawrence, Mass, which, if you know this area, is, well, I don't know. It's just one of the blue-collar towns around here. Ex-Milltown, they all are, but this one still is. And so in 2 weeks, we're going to be opening up live, which will be great. And we're going to go hybrid. That is to say, we're going to still have a TV screen so people can join us from all over the country like they have been, which is really great. So it's Lawrence, Mass, One Broadway. I think that's what it's going to be called. Am I coming through? Yeah. All right.
Yep,
okay,
you
so,
are.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to do two songs. They're kind of from darkness to light. You gotta know the one to know the other. So this is called The Price. Show me the store where I can buy back the buffalo, buy back the butterflies, buy back one bee. Show me the bank where I can take out a mortgage, get back all the life that has been sucked out of the sea. Wildfires burn above the highway, mailbox melting in the sun. Make room for the next wave of climate refugees, and know that it's just begun. Find me a sale where I can buy back the forest that grew a living carpet across every northern land. Sell me the salmon that used to run the rivers, said that rolling forest from New York to Japan. The Amazon jungle is measured by the profit that will be extracted while they're cutting out its heart. Take a pass on mahogany and products made with palm oil. Doesn't seem like much, but at least it's a start. Wildfires burn above the highway, mailbox melting in the sun. Make room for the next wave of climate refugees, and know that it's just begun. The businessmen who write the laws sit in lonely splendor while the living world is plundered with a chainsaw and a knife. A message is the same, human or Mother Nature. Money measures honest work, it cannot measure life. Wildfires burn above the highway, mailbox melting in the sun. Make room for the next wave of climate refugees, and know that it's just begun.
Testify.
Oh, that is so powerful.
Lots to think about there.
Yeah, I don't like writing songs. I mean, I love writing songs like that because it's so easy to be negative, but but it's also sometimes it's necessary. I mean, that's where we are. So anyway, this song is about my favorite topic, which is the earth is a living being, which I think is the other side of this coin. So this is called Heart of the Earth, and it attempts to talk about the question of what it would be like if you lived inside of a living being that was much larger than you are. How would you know what she felt? So this is called the Heart of the Earth. There's a voice you can hear in the roar of the sea. There's a song to be heard on the wind in the trees. And it might take a while for it to come clear, but the heart of the earth is the voice that you hear. And it feels like the call of the wild, and it shines with the light in the eyes of a child, and it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Fill your lungs with the air and hold it a while. It was breathed by a camel on the banks of the Nile. Got its oxygen back from the Amazon trees. Then it took the express from the Florida Keys. And it rises with the hawk to the sky, and it feels like that thrill when she catches your eye, and it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Dig your toes in the dirt in any backyard, and you're part of the earth, whoever you are. The dirt runs under cities, under any wall, from the poles to the tropics, connecting us all. And it feels like waking up from a dream, and it fights like a salmon that's swimming upstream, and it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Jesus was a gambler, Mohammed was the same. They went all in for love in playing the game. And the Buddha greets Moses over the sea. We'll be brothers and sisters eventually. And it cries out in the land of my birth. And it rides with the dawn as it circles the earth. And it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. And it cries out in the land of my birth. And it rides with the dawn as it circles the earth. And it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. The heart of the earth is the motion of love. Yes, the heart of the earth is the motion of love.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Wonderful songs, Neil.
Thank you.
That second one just makes me feel it just bridges the ages and says so much. I'm a big fan of I'm a big history guy, and I watch all these history courses online. That just gave me a great feeling, that song. You must have some life experience that put your head in a place to write songs like that. Would you like to talk about that?
Wow. Well, you know, I studied all my growing up. My grandfather was a geologist. My great-grandfather was a geologist. And I was going to be a geologist from age 6, and I got to college, and it just seemed less and less relevant. And I had my first job as a geologist, and it was like, I don't want to go into it, but it would have, if I'd been successful, it would have been meant tearing down a rainforest, and I couldn't do it. So I became an artist and, made my money. But about 20 years ago, I began to restudy geology and discovered that really it's biology. But the life has been forming this earth for 3.5 billion years. So that's really what I've been starting to think about and feel. And I've been writing songs about it, too. So, I mean, it might or might not feel like what I just sang was that, but it actually is.
How long have you been playing out at open mics?
I actually the guitar is my first instrument, and I picked it up 8 years ago.
Just 8 years ago. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I love music, and I've been writing songs in a certain way ever since I was, much younger. But I just, yeah.
The songs are very, very provocative, and the kind of thing that make people think, and I love that. Before I let you off the hook.
Can I put in a plug for my website? Because
Certainly.
I have a website called whoistheearth.com, and my music is there, and talks I've given are there, and my book is there, and all kinds of stuff. So if anybody's interested, it's an interesting place. Also, it's done with a background in my artwork, which is what it was for many years.
Did you share that with your sign up on OMA?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, then it should be on our page. Yeah. Some influences, some songwriters that influenced you.
You've been asking that question, and I've been. The first thing that came to me, and I want to say it, is I was pretty intimidated by women, and I had a girlfriend out of college, and we were sitting there having lunch, and I never would have said anything to annoy her or anything, and I heard this. All I heard was a trace of the melody down the road. And I literally got up and walked out, and I had to find out what it was. And I didn't find out for another couple of weeks. But it was Peter Gabriel's Salisbury Hill. And the thing about that song is that music conveys, like I felt it, the meaning of the song. And how the hell it does that is the mystery that I'm always reaching for in music. You know, that song is about a moment, a time that changed his life, his whole life. And somehow or other, he gets it in that music. And I think that's just fascinating.
Interesting. That moment of catharsis, many of us have had that when that moment comes that you've heard something that you just think is so compelling and so great that it sets you off. Thanks so much, Neil. Enjoyed having you. We'll love to have you back. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Neil. That was a lot for us to think about and feel and appreciated.
That's great.
Yes. And next we have from Portland, Oregon, Beth Hamon. And Beth, I know I'm supposed to ask you about what open mics you like to go to, but you were telling us.
Yeah, so I've only been to a couple. Like, it's open mics have not been a big part of my music making here. I went to an open mic at Eastburn, which was really loud and raucous and really friendly in Portland. And then I went to a couple of open mics at Whalen's Irish Pub way out on Division in Mid-County, Mid-Multnomah County. And that was a really nice open mic because people actually, chilled out and listened to each other. And that was really a lot of fun. But most of my music making as a singer-songwriter comes from the synagogue. I'm a non-ordained cantorial soloist, and I serve synagogues and I tour Jewish communities around North America as an artist or educator in residence because I'm a trained music educator. So a lot of stuff that I've written, nearly all of my stuff has Jewish influence or speaks directly to liturgical text or Torah, or it's veiled so it can be crossover. Being a Jew who doesn't know how to talk about Israel is really hard. And being a Jew whose non-Jewish friends say, tell us what you think and represent the whole Jewish people. And I just go, oh, you guys, really? So I wrote this song to get them all to stop asking me such unreasonable questions and still reflect where my heart is. This is called Am I Asking for Too Much? Sometimes it's hard to be thankful for what you have, if it means that someone else won't have enough. Am I naive to want a world where things are equal, and each of us has everything we need? I can't ignore all the pain and strife around me. Turn the volume down, pretend that it's not there. For we are all made in the same holy image. So when one is hurt, we all have weight to bear. Am I asking for too much for the world to be more fair when we were taught that we all started out that way? I don't think we're too far gone to begin to put things right so that our children will come to find a better way. Across the ocean is a place that we hold sacred, till filled with history and beauty to behold. Many people call it home and call it holy, and there's more than just one story to be told. What would this world be like if we took time to listen to the story that our neighbor has to tell? perhaps we'd come to know what we all have in common, that we all draw water from the same deep well. Am I asking for too much, for the world to be more fair, when we were taught that we all started out that way? I don't think we're too far gone to begin to put things right, so that our children will come to find a better way. Am I asking for too much, for the world to be more fair, when we were taught that we all started out that way? I don't think we're too far gone to begin to put things right, so that our children will come to find a better way.
Oh my.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So great to hear stuff from a Jewish point of view, too. I'm
Yep,
Jewish, too.
my thoughts exactly.
I'd like to also share another song. Both of these are from my latest release, which came out a month before the shutdown. It's called The Watchman's Chair, and it's available on Bandcamp and Oi Songs and iTunes. And this is a song that was inspired originally by my love of the marching percussion arts. And I'm just trying to get out of the sunlight here. There we go. And it's all about rhythm and time and what we do when we're about to blow our top. Well, we often get told, just take a breath, just count. There's a perfectly good reason for being told that, but it's bigger than you think. This is called Count to 4. When I count to 4, I don't need to say your name, because every letter can be found in the beautiful arithmetic that rises from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift me up and show me more of your all there is, of all the amazingness, Gadol. It won't matter where we came from in the end. We're all going to the same place as enemies or friends. So we count to 4. It doesn't matter what came before. The Big Bang gave birth to 1,000,000 beating hearts, 1,000,000 souls to fill a broken vessel. We must count to 4, or 5, or 6, or even 10, however many breaths it takes to calm this fiery rage that threatens to blow up the world once more. It won't matter where we came from in the end. We're all going to the same place as enemies or friends. We must count to 4, reach down and touch the floor, pick up your broken piece and see if it will fit with mine, so we can put the world together again. We can put the world together again. We can put the world together again.
All right, that was dynamite.
Really creative.
That
Beautiful.
was rocking.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Beth, wonderful. So you're a professional singer. You're a professional singer.
I'm a professional, I'm a trained percussionist and drummer. That was my instrument when I studied music education. I'm the child of nightclub musicians who were both singers. I didn't want to sing when I was young because it was like the most terrifying thing I could imagine. Wait, I need like a drum kit or timpani in front of me, between me and the audience. You want me to just stand up in front of a microphone? That was just like the most terrifying thing. And it wasn't until I got older and I started singing in choirs and then started doing other stuff that it became fun. And so I was a working percussionist until 1997, playing all the instruments in the pit orchestra. A bicycle crash did some damage to my right hand. One of these pinkies is not like the other. And now it has limited some of the instruments that I can play. I had messed around with guitar as a child, self-taught. I picked up guitar again and tried to remember all the stuff I knew from high school. I was at a barbecue and the rabbi was passing around her guitar and she said, hey, and I was remembering like wildwood weed and crazy stuff like that. And she goes, you didn't tell me you play guitar. Before I knew it, I was being asked to provide music for the children's services during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the most important Jewish holidays of the year. And I discovered, well, this is actually kind of fun. I'd like to do more of this. And that was how I became a synagogue musician. And so that was over 20 years ago. And I'm still doing it. I'm still loving creating music for and with communities. And it's just a lot of fun. I do still play drums and percussion. And I'm a drum historian, but the singer-songwriting thing is just really fun and interesting.
Wonderful. So you get on airplanes and you go to faraway places and play? Great.
Well, I haven't done that since February of 2020, but God willing and the creek don't rise, poo, 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 I'll get to do it again. I do have an out-of-town arrangement with a synagogue north of me in the Seattle area that I serve as a soloist every year for the Jewish High Holy Days. And I'll be taking the train up there. And in October, I've got my first get on a plane gig in a year and a half. I'm going to go down to El Paso and do a Shabbaton down there for a synagogue community. But I also play at community centers and camps, and I do house concerts, and I just create tours and bring my music to places.
Well, you're in Portland, so you need to come to Artichoke. You know of Artichoke, I guess. Yes.
Vaguely.
Artichoke will love you.
I'm so dialed into Jewish music around the country and around the world that it has not. And a lot of the things that happen outside the Jewish world are on Friday nights, when it's the Sabbath and I do services. That does make it a little hard. So when I can find open mics that aren't on Shabbos, it's perfect.
Artichoke has shows during the week, and you'll play in an environment where there are candles on the table, and people are quiet like mice when they sit there and listen to you sing. So I think that they'll love you. And the other thing we have is the songwriter soiree. You can look it up.
I did one of those online. It was amazing.
So you know Robin.
Amazing talent. And it was online, and it wasn't on a Friday night, and I could go. It was fabulous.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to seeing you live. Really have enjoyed your music.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
Thanks for coming, and we'd love to have you back. Thanks.
You bet.
Daphne?
Thank you for that, Beth. Such variety tonight, and I never expected to hear these songs about Tikkun Olam, for sure. Yes, I hadn't. Thank you so much, Beth. And next we have Rob Cork from Beaverton, Oregon. Rob, you're on, and tell us a little bit about your open mic if you go to them.
Well, I think Andee mentioned a place that we used to go called the Influence Music Hall. It's more of a concept than a place. It was a brick and mortar place for years. It's what got me back into performing. And it was a special room in a lot of ways. There've been a lot of open mics. The thing about that place that was so dynamite is it was an active listening room. Everybody was there to support you. Everybody listened. You can break out brand new stuff that you fall flat on. Literally, everybody would stop and applaud and look you up. anything from, 8-year-old kid doing piano recitals and stuff to a middle school girl band who's playing the things that can all jump at the thing, to old pros from off the road. So it was a great occasion. I really enjoyed that place. And there's a few others around here on the west side that are pretty good. There's a Tuesday night songwriter deal at a place called The Garages, not too far from me, and a Thursday open mic there as well. And they're open and running right now, so if any of you guys are on the west side in the Portland metro area, there you go. So, you want some music, don't you? You can tell.
We want music, yes.
These songs are written by Penny and myself. She writes the lion's share of the lyrics, and I write most of the melodies and kind of put it together. And these two songs are about real people with some poetic license, maybe. This first one's called "Song for William," which we wrote when we were living in the Irvington neighborhood in Portland, and I'll let the song speak for itself. I'm walking home in the Portland rain. He's out on the street again. And I'm wondering, what can I do? What can I offer him to see him through? That umbrella won't help me none. But do you think you could get me some coffee? Just a cup of coffee. Sure, there's a shop right over there. Let's go in and grab a chair and have some coffee. And just a cup of coffee. Under his blanket he tries to hide himself from those behind glass eyes that follow his every move but can't see past the grime into his light. I'm a mess, but I have my pride. I think it's best I stay outside and drink that coffee. Just a cup of coffee. The rain made mud run down his arms over the hands that held that warm cup of coffee. Just a cup of coffee. Him. What else could I have done? And was it enough? Before I watched him walk away, melt back into that rainy gray, he said thanks for the coffee. It was just a cup of coffee. Thank you for the coffee. This cup of coffee.
Yeah, what a great vibe. That's terrific.
I always love that song, and Rob and Penny are such a great songwriting team. Not that I'm biased in any way.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. We're big fans of Andy's too, so it's a mutual admiration club. And these are the kind of relationships that came out of this influence musical. You know, some family that we just hadn't met yet. The second song is also about a real person, somebody that we never knew, and if she wants to, maybe she'll tell you more about it later. But it's called Annie. Or something like that. Annie, can't they see this isn't how you wanted it to be? I turned my head, you were gone. I've been waiting here for so long to get the word, but now I've heard. Annie, can't they see how much you mean to me? The dark-haired girl with the natural smile, pink tweed jacket showed your style. That's what they found when they looked around. Put a picture in the paper, story on page 3. Get the cameras rolling, sell it on TV. For a second, yeah, we'll wonder. It's such a mystery, but there's someone out there who knows what happened to Annie. Newsprints faded, but the memory is clear. 71, that was the year. Newspapers crumpled by the side of the road. Sheriff's coat case is a heavy load. Is mad as hell. He has to tell. Someone disappears every day. And did they take you or did you walk away? Did you know you were lost, hoping to be found? Who could have left you on that cold, cold ground? She had a map in her pocket, but did she have a plan? Or have a notion and lost it? Did her beginning become her end? I put a picture in the paper, the story on page 3. Get the cameras rolling, sell it on TV. For a second, yeah, we'll wonder. Such a mystery, but there's someone out there who knows what happened to Annie. Who knows what happened to? What happened to Annie? Thank you very much.
Powerful voice.
You heard a little of the emotion creeping in there a couple times. Sometimes I play those songs. There's songs, and the words are the words, and the songs are the songs. And sometimes it's just the emotion that is based on those people and those experiences kind of gets into. Thanks for your indulgence. I appreciate it.
Those are wonderful songs, Rob. You and your wife need to keep going with that stuff. Great stuff. Great singing, great playing. I'm really impressed with your flat picking and the way you're singing. You're riding on the passing notes with your voice. I'm a big fan of that. That's really effective. Tell me about your practice regimen, how you and how the two of you write together and how you practice the guitar. Share with us a little bit how you work that.
Well, I am an incredibly undisciplined person when it comes to playing music, which is, let me put it this way. When it's time to do something, Penny will say, you really need to practice for this. And I'll sit down and do it. And you get into the role, it's like going to the gym, it works pretty well. My favorite kind of guitar playing is just sitting down and picking with other people. I can do that all day long without any kind of...
He's so good at it.
Well, sitting in with people is very groovy. Doing my own thing takes a little bit of something. Once it happens, it's great. As for the songwriting process, that's interesting. Is I have a bevy of, I don't know, little tidbits of progressions, little changes that are here and there. And once in a while, those things, Penny will hear one of those and she'll like, oh, this is the thing. But more often than not, I'd say 90% of the time, you've got a set of words and at least some vestigial melody, and my job is to make those work musically, in terms of tempo, in terms of key and all that kind of thing, and construct verses and bridges. During my kind of formative mid-late teen and early 20 years, I was a rabid Bedhead. I was always on tour. And one of the things that I kept from that experience was Robert Hunter and Jerry Garcia could write these dynamite bridges. There was this whole kind of early and mid-70s thing. Bridges were just take-home things. And that's one of the things that I think I'm probably best at. So I don't know if that's the question, but...
Is it Penny, your wife's name?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I had that right. So Penny's more the word person, and she kind of puts the words out there, and then you kind of put it together with a melody?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll say, well, this word doesn't work here, or it's too many syllables or something. Oftentimes I'm told to make it work, which,
yep.
happens. And every once in a while I get a break and she gives me an easy out and I can change a word or something. And once in a while I'll come up with a line or two,
And do you experience, I always talk about this song drift, where you start writing a song about a particular thing and it just kind of starts veering off one way. Does that ever happen?
I don't think so. I
No?
think in general I bring him something that's pretty much finished. I'm inspired by conversations, people I meet, stories I read. So those just kind of dance around in my head for a while, and then I commit them to paper. I don't have a fountain pen.
Although I think that's going to be in the works, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, before I let you off the hook, each of you get one song, greatest song.
You go first.
John Lennon, In My Life.
Oh, good one. Okay. Oh, and my turn. Oh, that is so difficult. I'm gonna go out on a drift here with my earlier statement about being a recovering Deadhead, which is mid-70s Garcia Hunter song called Crazy Fingers. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's an awesome song, great words, very amorphous theme, and just a dynamite song, yeah.
Have definitely enjoyed having you guys, and we're going to enjoy having you back. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Everyone is so fantastic. We're absolutely honored to be here.
Really great experience.
Wonderful having you. Thank you.
I muted myself again. Whew. Thank you again. That was just wonderful to hear, and to hear how it happens behind the scenes. And next we are going to San Jose to hear Rosemarie Austin. Rosemarie, tell us about your open mic if you have one.
I had frequented Hub's Coffee, same as TK, and yeah, wonderful community, just lots of great music, kind of like tonight, just so much variety. So that's so much fun to hear so many different styles and, places where people have been.
Great, great. And now you can play for us.
Yeah, I've been reworking just some songs that are inspired by my son. He just turned 4. So the first song is called "Let's Go on an Adventure," and we just got back from an adventure. We went camping for a couple of nights locally, and it was fun. It was very hot, and we had a lot of insect friends. Let's see. Let's go on an adventure. We could take it fast or take it slow. Many ways to go on our adventures together. Let's sing about the different ways to go. A fresh air trip, picking up sticks, can be done on our 2 feet. Along a trail or a sidewalk by the street. You can hike right up a mountaintop or walk to your school around the block. It'll help to eat a snack to get to where you're going and back. Some people explore the world in a saddle, atop a horse, an elephant, or camel. How about a long-necked llama or a water buffalo? Just one of many ways to get around and say hello. Hola, ohio, bonjour, ciao, annyeonghaseyo. Let's go on an adventure. We could take it fast or take it slow. Many ways to go on our adventures together. Let's sing about the different ways to go. And I have heard that wheels are a good way to get around. 2 by bike and 4 by car. Light rail is another way to get to where we're going today. Can you count with me how many wheels there are? Can you count with me how many wheels there are? Let's go on an adventure. We could take it fast or take it slow. Many ways to go on our adventures together. Let's sing about the different ways to go. And if you're brave enough to ride a wave, take a surfboard out today. A sailboat catches the breeze into the bay. And a motorboat is super fast, just fill the tank up with gas. And submarine is king, if underwater is your thing. Let's go on an adventure. We could take it fast or take it slow. Many ways to go on our adventures together. Let's sing about the different ways to go. Now that we've sung about the different ways to go, let's go. Now that we've sung about the different ways to go, let's go.
Oh yeah, ready for a trip now.
That's great.
That's an earworm already. It's, oh my gosh.
The next song I'm gonna perform, Baby's Got No Blues Yet, and this is when he was a baby. And what do I want to say about this? I decided to kind of branch out and try doing try getting a video to go with this, and so I reached out to an artist friend I know, Jillian Hunt, and it's up on YouTube, and it's just really cute. It kind of captures kind of that early stage of life. So here's Baby's Got No Blues Yet. Let's see. I like to wear food on my face, yogurt, spinach, apple puree. Well, the dog and I made a friendly pact. He'll share his bone if I drop him some snacks. Life is pretty fun when you're the itty bitty one. Oh, a baby's got no blues yet, got nothing to lose yet, and no mistakes to regret. A baby's got no blues yet, not yet. It's a nice sunny day, and we're headed to the park. There's a swing with my name on it, reservations for one. Oh, mama pushed me higher, I wanna reach the sky. Feel the breeze on my face, watch the people pass on by. Life is pretty fun when you're the itty bitty one. Oh, baby's got no blues yet, got nothing to lose yet, no mistakes to regret. Baby's got no blues yet, not yet. First it's wake time, then it's eating time, yeah. First it's Lex's playtime, which reads the crash time. Later on it's bath time, that's when I get my splish splash time. Whoa, what a fun day. Oh, it just be and me. Mom and Dad say, oh, life can get hard, ain't always paid down that baby boulevard. Be a good friend and be careful who you choose, 'cause it's the good ones that'll lift you up when you get the blues. Life is pretty fun when you're the itty bitty one. Baby's got no blues yet, got nothing to lose yet, no mistakes to regret. My baby's got no blues yet, not yet. No, baby, not yet. No, 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 baby, not yet. No, baby, not yet. No, baby, not yet.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Hey, no kidding. Now I'm gonna have that stuck in my hand. I'm gonna use that.
That made my day.
I want to be that baby, Rosemarie.
Stop your crying,
Oh,
baby.
fun.
Stop
Super
your crying,
fun.
baby.
Wonderful, wonderful songs, Rosemarie. When you started singing, I knew you were going to ring Andy Joyce's bell right away. I knew that. You're right in her wheelhouse. Those are wonderful, sweet songs, and you know, I couldn't help but think, if Pete Seeger was around, he'd put you on one of his shows. Those are songs that Pete would like. Tell me, how old were you when you started this? You're practically a baby yourself, you know, a guy my age, you know. You're a kid singing to babies. So, but I have to ask you, how old were you when you started to sing?
I mean, like for other people?
Well, just when you became a singer in your own heart, and then when did you start to sing for other people?
Oh, I mean, I would say like just listening to the radio. Like my parents lived out in the country, and so it's a long drive to wherever you're going in high school, so might as well sing to the radio. And so Beatles and Bob Dylan were in there, and then picked up a guitar also like senior year and just through college, and just haven't put it down, but also like learned to love the piano not too long ago. Well, okay, 10 or 15 years ago.
And how long have you been playing at the open mics?
Oh, I mean, at the San Jose one, I think for, maybe 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
I think I might have been around when you were around. It's also fuzzy, but of course Lambert was the host over there. Everybody knows Lambert, and that's a great crowd over there. And what's your idea? What makes a great song?
Oh my gosh, you gave me the hard question. I mean, it's memorable. It can, if it's a sad song, then it kind of gets you right in your heart and makes you think about it for days, and maybe get up and do something about it if you can. And then a happy song is like gets people up on their feet and just try to, if they're having a bummer of a day, then kind of turns them in the other direction, and remembering that life is full of sweet moments, and if I could do that for somebody, then I've had a good day myself.
Your songs are wonderful, and your kids are lucky to have a mom like you, believe me. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me back.
Thank you, Rosemarie. And do we have the link to that YouTube video on Open Mic America yet? Did you send it?
Well, it's at rosemarieaustin.com.
Okay.
So if you go to that page, then it's a video on the homepage. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Rosemarie. That was quite the treat. Talk about variety tonight. Yeah. Wow. And now we're so glad everyone has stuck around. We have one more performer to take us home, and that's Cap Wilhelm-Safian. I hope I said that right again.
2 for 2, Daphne.
Oh, yay. And then, Cap, tell us what open mic you went to.
I actually got started back playing. I took a 25-year break, and my first open mic that I went to was the Mission City, the one that you used to do that has become something else. But the open mic that's my home, I have 2 of them. One is the Poorhouse Bistro, and the other is the Art Boutique. And I have played many shows at the Art Boutique too. It's kind of my home base. But I've been to Hubs, and it's a very welcoming crowd. It's just on a Friday night. Although I'm Jewish, that's not my excuse. I'm a teacher, so I'm exhausted. So Friday night open mic is you would only get slow, sad songs. So shall I commence? Can you hear the guitar?
Yes.
Can you hear the vocals? All right.
Take us home.
I did a lot of busking in my day, and I actually wrote this next song while playing on the Pacific Garden Mall in Santa Cruz back in the early 80s. I met a series of people, and they became verses in the song. So it's just called Never Be the Same. Margarita took a photo and dropped it in my case. A strange and distant longing on a strange and distant face. And on her brow she paints a portrait of pain. She will never, never be the same. She will never, never be the same. The street man stood there and he told a story about the last real home he'd had. He said he really didn't miss it, he said. He wasn't sad for his life, no regrets, no shame. He will never, never be the same. He will never, never be the same. I knew a young man, he loved a woman. He loved her strong, he loved her true. But his love was not reflected, so like the bird he flew down to the river, out to the ocean of rain. He will never, never be the same. He will never, never be the same. He will never, never be the same.
Whoa, bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
I know
very
that's
nice. Really
Thanks
well.
so much. That was the first song I think I wrote on the street that I kept. And those are all true stories too, which makes for a better song, I guess. When I'm not doing this, which is most of the time, I'm not doing this. I corrupt the youth. I teach middle school. Just finished my 30th and most interesting year, and I teach history. So this is for you, Dave. This is a song about how we treat our veterans. I tend to be a hippie peace freak. I'm at all the protests. I'm sure I've seen Daphne out there. But this is a song about the abysmal way we have historically treated our vets as they return. It's called Stranger in a Strange Land. For all the Jews in the studio audience, that is a reference to the Passover Seder. Off-ramp, piece of cardboard in her hand. She did 2 tours in Iraq, 2 more in Afghanistan. She whispers, tell it to me slowly, 'cause I need to understand. Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? Back in '68 he got shipped to Vietnam. They trained hatred in his heart, they put a rifle in his hand. And when he got back home broken, no one seemed to give a damn. He's living like a stranger in this strange, strange land. Now he's wandering like a specter in this strange, strange land. Well, somewhere there's a garden with the wide, wide open gates, where I'll never have to hunger, where I'll never have to wait, where I'll never have to wonder as I wander through this land. Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? in this strange, strange land. In 1932, the Bonus Army took a stand. Just pay us what we're owed, it was their one demand. But Hoover called out the guns and tanks, they spilled their blood upon our land. They were shot down just like strangers in a strange, strange land. They were exiled just like strangers in this strange, strange land. Well, somewhere there's a garden with a wide, wide open gate, where I'll never have to hunger, where I'll never have to wait, where I'll never have to wonder as I wander through this land. Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land? Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land?
Wow. That's powerful.
What a way to end this night.
Thank you. There's a really good recording of that and the link to the SoundCloud that I did with a bunch of local musicians that are top drawer people, top drawer human beings, and yeah, sounds better with more people.
That's a good.
It sounded very, very good with only
Thanks.
you.
Thank you so much. I have a friend who keeps telling me that, but I still hear all the harmonies. So I know you know harmony, Daphne. So
I struggle to write refrain songs all the time, and that was through the uprights. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wrote that one walking around the block when I was exercising, piece by piece.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Cap. Your songs, I've seen you a number of times when I used to go to the poorhouse, and your songs have a big orchestral sound with the 12-string and the harmonica, and like they all sound like epics to me. And being a history buff, when you're talking about the Bonus Army, you got me right in the heart. And
got to do a little homework for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra
Somewhere
credit,
is
Dave.
a garden gate. It's just wonderful, wonderful songwriting and performance. One man with a guitar and a harmonica,
I was worried you were going to play right before me, Dave. That happens all the time.
No, get out of town. Get out of town. But I want to ask you a little bit about your process. Is it like the whole concept that you kind of see? I mean,
not at all.
Not at all. Just
not at all. Little snippets come to me. When I was young, in my 20s, things came to me whole cloth a lot more, and then I would have to get out the hammer and rework the lyrics. But now it's like birthing an elephant. It takes a really long time, and it's painful, and and I will grab a line here and grab a line there. I now keep a little spiral notebook that I'll just throw a line down. One of the last songs I finished in the waiting for my wife to bring me her credit card at Trader Joe's, because I forgot to bring mine. So I busted out the last two verses of a song. But they had been stewing for a long time. And with school, I don't have as much time to give to this as I'd like to. So I'm down to about 2 songs a year, which is, I felt like it was folk singer malpractice during the Trump administration to only write 2 songs a year. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Now, does it happen with you that you have a song on the shelf for a while and you pick it up and all of a sudden you start to play it in a different key and the song changes?
I probably should do that. But no, I do have them in one of my most popular songs I had in a folder for 30 years. I wrote it when I was 20, and it was a country song, and but it was a country protest song, and I took it back out and I dusted it off, and it got a very different reaction 20 years later. People heard it, and I think when I was first singing it I felt like maybe because I played mostly folk, and this was sort of a weird little turn for me. Well, the country is folk too, from my point of view. So, anyway, so that has happened. More often, though, I have files in my computer that never get finished. I have like 5 songs that I did not finish in time, that I really wish I had. They were like 2/3 of a song that's that quality, but I just couldn't get the other third out. So it's frustrating. This summer, though, I'm going to hopefully come back to them.
Well, if I had to describe you, Cap, in one word, I would say the word folk singer.
Nice.
This man is a folk singer. And now, before you get out of here, I got to ask you 2 songs.
Okay.
Greatest of great.
Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Actually, Crosby, Stills and Nash. And then Clampdown by The Clash by Joe Strummer. Okay. So I'm also, I have a punk streak, but I'm not very good at it. But I like it a lot.
Well, you closed us down with a corker. So
Thank you so much.
For that, and we'll love to have you back at some point. And everyone, thanks so much for coming. Tell your friends. We're trying to build our roster of folk singers up so we can eventually make this a once a week show. People all across America can, on a Sunday afternoon,
That would be really cool.
the real thing. People, I always talk about, Daphne and I talk a lot about the icing and the cake. We say that there are a lot of acts out there that have harmony singing and bells and whistles and lights and everything. You put a guitar in their hand, no more icing, where's the cake? Well, all our people have the cake, and they have icing too. So thanks so much.
And icing, and thank you. Let's see, all the people out in YouTube land, thanks for tuning in and for staying with us. Our next show is going to be on July 18th, because we're taking a little hiatus in honor of July 4th. So stay tuned. Look at the website. Everything will be posted, openmicamerica.com. You can also find local open mics there if you'd like to. We welcome you all to be part of this because, as Laura says, we're not stopping anytime soon. So thank you, TK and Elsie and Nick and Andee and Neil and Beth and Rob and Rosemarie and Cap for everything. And so long, YouTube people.
Thanks all.
Thank you, everybody. What a fun time.
Thank you. This was great.
What a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Pretty soon, we're still live, I think. I don't know. TK will give